Hello, my name is Russ Richards, and I own and operate Sentinel Firearms Training LLC in southeastern Wisconsin, Burlington, Wisconsin. And I'd like to put forth a series of videos teaching common sense firearms safe handling techniques with an emphasis on concealed carry and self-defense. And by that I mean, of course, all of the safety rules for firearms handling should always be met, and they're pretty much going to be consistently the same across the board, whatever kind of shooting you're doing. But when you talk about self-defense and concealed carry, you're talking about a martial art, and you're talking about ways of controlling your firearm, methods of operating your firearm, and even the types of firearms that can be involved in historically military situations or law enforcement situations or self-defense situations. It's a different animal. Okay, you may be a cowboy action shooter, but a single action revolver like a cowboy revolver is not going to be an ideal firearm for self-defense or concealed carry. And you all know where this is going. If you have purchased an AR-15 and you found out that there's really no range that'll let you shoot it quickly and do any of those cool Navy SEAL moves that you wanted to practice, I offer that here. There are ranges like mine all over the place, and you got to find the guys that are teaching the courses, so that you can get out there and have some fun with your gun and learn how to be safe with it. And really, it all boils down to safety. There's thousands of firearms accidents due to negligence and ignorance in the United States every year. A lot of folks don't want to seek out training. Maybe they've got an attitude problem, or they got an ego problem, or they think that they don't need it. They can run any kind of gun out there. Why else would they sell them if they were that difficult to operate? And then they put their finger on the trigger when they're not supposed to, and they have ammunition in the gun when they're not supposed to, and they point the barrel of the gun in the direction they're not supposed to. And all of these things add up to someone severely injured or dead. And this happens thousands of times every year in the United States. Generally with guns that people thought were not loaded, because they just don't understand safe firearm practices and how to determine whether or not a gun is loaded, or how to handle a gun, whether it's loaded or not. For those of you who have been training for a while or have been shooting for a while, who've taken hunter safety courses or firearm safety courses, you've heard all the cliches. Every gun is always loaded. Never point a gun at anything you're not willing to destroy. These are great safety axioms. These are great safety rules to follow. Sure they are. But they get boring after a while, and familiarity breeds contempt. So the more you hear them, the less respect you have for them. And this is what happens with folks like me. I have nine firearms instructor certifications with the National Rifle Association, everything from basic firearm safety up through advanced personal protection certifications. I'm a chief range safety officer certified by the National Rifle Association. I'm certified by the United States Concealed Carry Association to teach their self-defense, concealed carry, and home defense curriculum. I'm certified by the Bureau of Criminal Investigation in the state of Utah to teach their concealed carry course. I'm certified by the Illinois State Police to teach Illinois concealed carry. And I used to be a competitive shooter in the International Defensive Pistol Association, and I have fired upwards of, 500,000 rounds out of my handguns in the last 15 years. Does that make me a good shooter? Not if I wasn't doing it right. No. Anybody can stand and bang, but I think I was pretty good and still am. Anyway, that being said, watching me shoot isn't going to make you a better shooter. Training with a police officer isn't necessarily going to make you a better shooter. The police officer has to know how to teach. He has to know how to impart his knowledge to you so that you can absorb it properly. The ex-military soldier, God bless them, you know, there are heroes, of course, as well as law enforcement, but they're not necessarily going to be able to teach you civilian concealed carry techniques or self-defense techniques, as the rules of engagement are vastly different for civilians as they are in the military. In fact, rules of engagement in the military can change depending on where you're at or the threat level or whatnot. With civilians, it's always the same. Depending on what state you live in, of course, that rule of engagement is not going to change. It does change from state to state. So, you know, train with somebody that understands the laws in your states, understands the self-defense law in your states. Do that. I hope that you guys will discover, if you watch these videos, you continue to watch these videos, that I don't take myself too seriously. You know, none of us are getting out of here alive anyway. But I'd rather go out due to natural causes than to have my life cut short by somebody that you know, that wants to shoot me. So I train to defend myself. I train to defend my loved ones. And I've trained over 5,000 people here for concealed carry and self-defense techniques with handguns, rifles, and shotguns. So I think I can give you guys some words of wisdom. I don't want to pretend to be one of these big rock stars that you'll see on YouTube that command a high price for their time, and who have very, you know, excellent proven training techniques. I have trained with those folks. I bring that stuff back to my people here, my students here, and teach them what I've learned, with taking a little bit from this gentleman, a little bit from that instructor, and a little bit from this instructor over here, and building my own curriculum from that, from my life experience. I have also been involved in a defensive gun use, and where no shots were fired, thank God. So I kind of know a little bit of what that's like, how that feels, how quickly it happens, and how little time you have to act. Anyway, that being said, you can find all my credentials on my website, but I don't really want this video to be a sales pitch so much as it has been up to this point. I want people who are sick of the Navy SEAL tactical Rambo stuff and all the seriousness that has been placed on modern day firearms training, and I want them to be able to relate. I want to relate to them, and I want them to relate to me, and hopefully we can have a little fun learning how to do this stuff safely. It's all about safety. It's all about safety. Even the most advanced combat techniques, John Wick techniques, are founded in safety. How to keep the shooter themselves safe, obviously, and how to keep innocent people safe. Okay, you know, there's that old rule: know your target and what is beyond. Okay, and these things all play into, these rules all play into safe handling of a firearm and defensive use of a firearm. So with that, you know, I think that was my mission statement. I hope that you guys will continue to watch, and when I think I have a number of subscribers that actually think I know what I'm talking about, I will begin to do critiques of various rock star firearm instructors that I have trained with and will be training with, you know, on an ongoing basis, to give you guys an idea of where you might want to drop your Benjamins on some quality training, because there are some guys out there that do charge a lot of money for what they teach, who aren't teaching what they should be teaching, and in my opinion are not. They may definitely be qualified to do it. They're just not doing it. And I don't want. And I've lost a lot of money. You know, found out the hard way that I signed up for classes that were not. I wasn't taught what was advertised, and you can't get your money back. It's real hard to get your money back, and I don't want that to happen to you guys. Okay. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe. Click on that subscribe icon on your mobile device or your computer, whatever you're watching on. And of course, there's not going to be, I'm not trying to make any money here. There's not going to be any monetization. This is just something that I'm passionate about. I spend a lot of time on it. And as we go through the series, you will see the time I've spent on my own range. I have my own range. This is my classroom behind me. I have a room clearing facility here. I have a 100-yard rifle range, 50-yard tactical range. Lot of steel, a lot of moving targets, things like that, reactive stuff. Scenario-based drills. Okay, you've heard the expression "train like you fight." Okay, if we talk about home defense, I won't be wearing pajamas. You don't have to do that. Train like you fight kind of means when you are in a fight, or when your brain detects a severe threat, your body starts doing really weird things that it doesn't do when you're relaxed. Your heart races, your breath becomes shallow, your vision changes, your capillaries shut down in your extremities, and you lose your fine motor skills. Adrenaline makes it difficult to speak, as I'm speaking right now. And so in these scenario-based drills, we try to impart stress depending on your level of expertise. If you have none, if you're a beginner, then we give you no stress. We make it as comfortable for you as possible. If you're an advanced shooter, if you're a high-speed, low-drag operator, then I'm going to make it uncomfortable for you. You know, still keeping it safe, but I'm going to make it uncomfortable for you and challenge you and get you to, you know, force yourself up to the next level. Okay. We don't do, I learned from a very wise instructor, Pat McNamara, that we don't do goal-oriented training. You know, we do performance-oriented training. We determine what your performance level is, and you can do the same thing at home or at your range, and then you push yourself just a little bit more each time, and you come away from each training session happy and optimistic about the next one. You don't set out on some pie in the sky goal on your first training session and not reach it, and come away wondering why you bought the gun and all this equipment, and are you ever going to be any good? You know, that's not the way to do it. So anyway, thank you again for watching. Please subscribe, and let's all stay safe.